Hey yo. Okay, let's get this set up. Sometimes this camera looks really good and sometimes it doesn't. Hold on. That helped a little bit. Hi. How are you? I'm making progress on Dallargut Dream Department Store, and my hubby's playing Silent Hill F in the background. So you'll probably hear that. I might mute it once we start reading though, but I'm on page 121 of mine, about that far in, a little less than halfway. I'd like to know what you guys are reading. Feel free to put it in the chat. Hello. I see some of y'all here. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Are y'all still at work? I got a tea thing. And I guess we can go ahead and start reading. I'll put myself on mute so that I don't bother anybody. Hey, how's it going? Ooh, what volume are you on? I love Kimi ni Todoke. I'm so behind on that one. I think I'm on like volume 7 or something ridiculous. I think this year I'm prioritizing collecting Yona. And then when I finish that, I'm going to prioritize Kimi ni Todoke because that's some good stuff. Volume 8. Oh, you're not too far behind or ahead of me. So that's good. Cool. Well, I have this, and then I also have this. So I might switch between the two depending on the vibe, but these are the ones that I'm currently reading. I always, 9 times out of 10, I'm going between a book and a manga. So that's what I'm going to do today. I think I'll start with this one and try to get some more of this read. I'm going through it pretty quickly, but it's not the best book so far. Maybe it'll get better, but it's a really weird premise. It's about this department store that sells dreams, but like I'm not quite sure what the rules are because it's not very clear on the rules. So I'm kind of finding out things that I think should be very important things that you know at the beginning, kind of interspersed within the story. And I wish it was a little more clear. I don't know if that's a translation issue or if it's just the way it was written, period. But so far it's giving a 3, but I'm not gonna write it off just yet. I'm not gonna DNF it. But this of course is flawless. Wouldn't change a thing. But yeah, let's get to reading. I'm gonna put it on mute and check in with you in a bit. All right, we'll take a little break. I'm not quite done with this chapter. This book has really long chapters. That's another thing I don't love in my books. I like short chapters. It just makes the book go by faster. Also, I feel like I can take more breaks and decide if I want to keep reading or not. And with long chapter books, I feel unsatisfied having to stop in the middle of a chapter to go to bed or something. But it is very cold in Mississippi today. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what it's like in y'all's neck of the woods, but it is very cold and very windy today. We had a big storm come through last night. Woke me up a bunch of times from thunder and lightning, and I think there was like some really damaging winds a little north of us. I saw some videos in a few cities like really close to us that like buildings were being blown over, but it wasn't a tornado, just straight line winds, I think. So that's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. How's your game going, dear?
I am so confused. There's barely anything to interact with, and I'm just like
Struggling?
I am struggling
Might have to
hard
look up a walkthrough.
because I have no idea what it wants me to do.
He's playing it on the highest difficulty, Silent Hill F, if you just joined in. Um, so they don't give you as many like perks and helps and things like that. You're kind of roughing it as far as video games go. But it's a good game. I've been enjoying watching him play it. I love watching him play horror games in general, but Silent Hill is definitely one of those that we really bond over. And I like it. It's in Japan. Is it like in the 80s or the 60s?
60s.
60s. And you're following this girl, schoolgirl. I think she just graduated middle school, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and she's been put through hell in this game. And with all Silent Hills, it's really difficult to understand what's really happening, and you got to wait till the end to really know, but then you also just kind of speculate. You don't really know, no. You just kind of have to draw your own conclusions. But that's the fun of it. I love a good open ending in everything, especially books. Right now in my book, I guess I'll spoil it here in the live stream. I don't think anyone here would really care. If you do, I'm sorry. You can mute it for a second. But I'm at a part where the girl we're following in this story, Penny, she gets invited to go to this dinner with dream makers, which is like the famous people in this world who create the dreams that people purchase. And there's a guy who makes nightmares, which are really hard to sell, obviously. And then there's like a premonition person. There's a Santa Claus is in this. He creates dreams for kids during Christmas season. There's a few famous people who make like really intricate like traveling dreams. There's a guy who makes dreams for animals, which is really cute. Very interesting stuff going on, but it sounds more interesting than it actually is. Oh, did you find something?
I can hang a calendar here.
Holy moly.
I don't know what that means, but maybe this is open now. Okay.
Oh, there's a baddie. Okay. But yeah, they're having a meeting with all the dream makers, minus a couple that didn't make it. And they're talking about sales and how they can make better sales. It's weird, but it's still an interesting universe. I just don't think that it's being explored in a way that I think is interesting. But I am still interested in what's going on enough to read it. It's just not as fun. I think it might be a translation thing because I feel like this could be more fun to read. Because when I look at this cover, doesn't that look? Of course, the webcam kind of dumbs it down, but it's like neon. It's super colorful and fun. I got the UK edition just because it is the prettiest one. And like, even in the French flaps, we've got all these potions. And it's just so cute. And the story is not cute and bubbly. And I just figured it would be kind of like a cozy, fun time. But it's kind of just like nothing happens, slice of life, working at the department store. So, yeah. I'll get back to reading. I just wanted to take a little break here. Is it something like The Giver? Hmm. Hmm. I don't think so. It's been a long time since I've read The Giver, which that's a great thing for me to need to reread. Um, but that's more of like a good but bad dystopian future. This is more of like an alternate dimension, I guess. You got it?
I got an Emma, which is really good.
Nice. I would consider this world, I mean, I'm still figuring out things because they just randomly will reveal it in the middle of a page to you. They don't like give it to you through story and they don't give it to you through like exposition paragraphs. They just throw it in there in the middle of something. From my interpretation of this so far, I thought it was in the real world, and this was just a reality in which people came to buy dreams at this store like a mall. But it's actually like they're asleep or asleep and awake when they shop. People sleepwalk. I don't quite get it yet, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading and let him play his game.
Well, I
And
didn't
you-
want to interrupt you.
And you got, well, I was fixed to do it anyway. And you guys can get back to reading. But I just wanted to check in with y'all, take a little break, get you a drink, maybe go to the restroom, and get back to reading. So I'll see you in about 30 minutes. Okay. We're going to move around a little bit. So forgive me for the angles. Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're going to have to move, puppy. Okay. We're going to go to the kitchen to heat up dinner. So spooky. Bookshelves are against this wall. Okay. I guess I can sit y'all on the cabinet. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfection. Other than that little reflection thing, it'll do. So we have leftovers. I'm gonna just heat those up. That's all I'm doing. I might do that zucchini too, because that was so good. My mom put me onto this. It's not really a thing, but it's a thing that she's doing lately. You get a pan. Cooking with Chelsea face. I know. Crazy, huh? You put some parchment paper on it. I'm going to put the oven at 375-ish. Sorry, it's so loud. I'm going to put this paper on the pan. Like so. And then I need my cutting board. Cutting board. And we're going to cut up the zucchini. I only have one left, sadly. I need to get more. Now that I know I like this, because I was just going to try it to see if I liked it at all. I'm also ready for the farmer's market to open back up, because Kroger and Walmart zucchini suck. Like, they are pathetic. I'm going to wash it off. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Okay. Oh, that knife's way too big. Don't demonetize me, YouTube, which I'm not monetized anyway, so that's pretty funny. We're gonna cut the ends off of it like so. And I usually save the cut off pieces of my produce for my mini compost bin I have outside, but I fear it's so full right now that I can't really add any more food to it without it becoming like gross. I need more soil to stuff ratio. I also have something volunteering itself in there, like a plant that is growing that I have no idea what it is. So what we do is we're going to cut them into like spears, so they'll all look kind of like this. So that's what I'm doing down here off camera. And you can make them as big or as small as you want, but after that first trial run of this, I like them either way. I don't think I have a preference, but I only have one zucchini, so that's all I have. And I'll set those to the side because I want to get a bowl. I'm a chaos cooker, so I apologize if this bothers you. I'm going to put those in my bowl. And then I'll chop up some potatoes. I made some potato soup, which is some leftover in this container that was really, really good in that crock pot back there. It's sitting without the inside because I got to clean that tonight. But it was really, really good. I love potato soup in general. And soup is for women, as he said. Men cannot eat soup. Okay. Which he did have a little bit of that, but I made him some pasta. That's his leftovers for tonight. And potatoes. That's what I was doing. Potatoes. So I made the soup with some Yukon Gold potatoes, which I had leftovers for. Not enough to make anything big. So I'm just going to keep doing this because I think it tastes good. So I have these potatoes I'm going to wash. I'll just do a couple tonight. I'm going to wash them. A little scrub. And then we're going to turn them into medallions. So slice them like, coins. Cooking channel win. I do have a Facebook page for recipes and cooking and reviewing local restaurants and stuff. But I don't really cook as much as I would like to right now, unfortunately. Maybe someday I'll have more going on in the kitchen. Oh, this one's like a heart. Oh, how cute. Isn't that sweet? I love it. But for now, I just kind of cook when I can. It mostly has to do with shopping, like having time to go shopping. We eat out way more than we should, and I want to try to do that less. But, it is what it is. Sometimes eating out's cheaper than cooking at home. So, at least around here it is. But yeah, I'm just cutting them up about this thin. There's some that are thicker, about I'm trying to think of what to compare this to. I don't know. I can't think right now. But that is what I'm doing. And then I'll season them up and show you what we do next. Okay. I've got my 2 potatoes and my 1 zucchini. And now I like to usually put them in a Tupperware to shake up with the seasonings and the oil just so it's nice and seasoned properly. But I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to put them in this bowl and shake them up. Real good. So you can put whatever seasonings you want, and you can also do whatever veggies you want. These are just what I have and what she did. So what I'll season them with let's do salt. Not too much. Pepper. I like a good bit of pepper. Chili powder, one of my favorite seasonings. I use the same 4 or 5 seasonings in almost everything I cook, just because it's pretty much like an all seasoning. And these pretty much are in that. And then I normally would have garlic powder, but I ran out, so I have onion powder. Normally I do salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder on everything. It's just a great all around way to season everything. Chicken, beef, pork, pretty much everything. So I've got all that in here, and I need some oil, but I'm out of oil. So I'm going to heat up a little bit of margarine to put in there. I think I'm out of oil. Yeah, I need to buy some. Okay, I'm gonna heat this up in like a coffee cup because that's what I have. Ain't it cute? It's like a Powerpuff Girls. I got this funny story how I got this cup, and I know that none of you care, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I love the Powerpuff Girls. I've always had like a love for them, especially the original series. I haven't watched the new one, but this was in an abandoned building that we went in, so I took it. Fun things that you do when you live in the South. You explore abandoned buildings that are falling apart. We had permission though. It wasn't like illegal. I also save little butter, margarine packets from restaurants if I'm not going home immediately for stuff like this. Like when I run out of oil or butter or something. Is it trashy? Maybe, but it saves me some money. I almost finished with my dishes yesterday. I gotta do those tonight. Whoops. Got like 5 cups and a cutting board now and a container that goes in the slow cooker. We gonna melt that margarine butter stuff. We'll do a little dance. I can't dance. Excuse me. Yang is in the floor right now, but I'm not gonna pick him up because I'm handling food. But after we're done with that, I'll show you what we do with this stuff. Oh, it is so cold in this house. I am freezing. Don't want to turn the heat on because we're trying to save some money. But yeah, okay. I think my butter's done. Okay. A little bit of butter or oil or whatever. Pour it in your bowl, whatever. And then we're going to give it a little stir. We're going to give it a little stir with my spatula. You can do it with your hands if you want to be like legit and get all up in there. But I don't want to touch it right now. Mix it up. And this would be much easier in a Tupperware, shaken up. That's how I season most things that I bake. It's just the best way. But yeah, make sure it gets on both sides of everything. I'll save this. And then we got it all seasoned up real good. We're going to put it on our pan. Nice. Okay. All right. I am going to touch it a little bit. Space it all out so it's not sitting on top of each other. I want to try this with a bunch of other veggies too because I think this would be so good. I cannot wait for the farmer's market. I know I've said that already, but legitimately, I work at our farmer's market, so I'm there a lot. And sometimes I hate being there because it's a job and you just want to go sleep on a Saturday morning. But, you know, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But I do love the food that I get. I get produce all the time, buying it. I also get free produce because sometimes at the end of the market, they have leftovers and they don't have anyone to sell it to and they can't take it all home. They already probably keep a bunch of it for their family before they even come to market. And so they'll have a bunch of leftovers sometimes and they'll either like give it at a really, really cheap deal or they'll just give me a bunch of it to bring home. And that's so sweet of them. I don't deserve that, but it is really sweet. And sometimes I take them up on it. Sometimes I don't. And I'll find somebody that needs it more than me. And that, oh yeah, that fit perfectly. Like a puzzle. Okay. Okay. That piece is a little thick. Gotta wash my fingers. Ooh. Okay. I think I'll sprinkle a little bit more chili powder on the top of these. They're looking a little sparse for my liking, and I love chili powder. I need to make my own because I think I would like it. Okay. Here's what it looks like. And if I had some more olive oil, I would sprinkle it on top, but we do with what we have. And now, I was about to close the door. Now we put this in the oven. Wait. No, we don't. Chelsea. God. We take our Parmesan. I'm sure you could use like legit grated good stuff. This is the cheapo stuff I get from the Walmarts. And I'm going to sprinkle it all over it. This is a brand new. Oh my gosh. The globules that come out. Got to break those up and sprinkle them by hand. Wow. Okay. I am just covering it in this stuff because it's so good. And Yang is eating what falls on the ground, even though he probably shouldn't. Okay. Delish. Okay. So now we're going to put this monstrosity in the oven to bake for about 20 minutes. I guess I should set my timer. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Can you set a timer for 20 minutes? Thanks, Pookie. You're the best music. Okay. So I still do have 3 potatoes here. I'll use those on something else. But I do need to go shopping again for veggies because I used to buy a bunch of them at a time. And I'm sure you guys understand the struggle of not eating them quick enough. So they would go bad. And then I would put all of it in compost or give it to the birds. So I'm trying to do that less and just go shopping more often, which I hate doing. I hate going shopping here because there's so many people in such a congested place. So yeah, I'm trying to do that more often and not cry about it. But I need to go buy more. But I also have started sourdough making. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to try doing, and I just keep failing at it. So this is like my 5th attempt at doing it, and I need to feed it right now because it's very soupy. And I normally do it in the morning, but I missed my alarm somehow. Okay. Oops. I'm going to use just a little spoon. Let's give it 3 scoops since this one's smaller than my usual. Okay. And then we're going to mix it up. Need to put a little bit of water in here. But my attempts at it keep failing because it always gets just a little moldy at the top. And they say that once it gets moldy, you're done. You got to start over. So I'm just like, crap, I'm never going to get this. It looks so good and it gets all big and it's like alive and I can see that it's doing well. And then the next day it's dead. So I think once I notice that it's starting to bubble up like that, like look alive, I need to change the container. Because the first 3 or 4 people I watched do it never said to change the container. And I'm just like, what the heck, guys? You didn't tell me this, and I keep failing. So I looked up a few more people and looked up the mold problem, and they're like, yeah, you got to change it every few days. I'm like, well, that would have been nice to know at the beginning. It would have been nice to know, right, Yang? So that mixed in really well. Okay. Whew. And now I got to clean off this spoon. Have any of you guys ever made sourdough before? Because your girl hasn't. I have a vendor at the farmer's market who does really good sourdough. Everybody makes it, but his is my favorite. Don't tell anybody. Um, and then my mom makes a really good sourdough, and I need her to come teach me, but she lives pretty far away, and I don't see her super often. So that's one of those things I'm going to get to one day with her. But she's not great at teaching me stuff. She just kind of tells me to do it, and then that's the best instruction I get. I need someone to like do something with me for me to get it. Reading a book on something, or seeing someone else do it on a YouTube video doesn't always click for me on things, but doing things with someone in front of me usually helps. Like I've been quilting with her a lot lately, and that's been great. I love quilting with her. It's just I learn when I'm with her, not on my own. Anyways, I'm done with the sourdough. It's going to sit. And I also was doing it with a sealed container before, and now I've just got this cloth over it because people said that it needs to breathe. I guess that makes sense. It's a living being. I don't know. But I'm going to do that one more day, and then I'm going to switch the container again tomorrow and hopefully not have a mold issue, because I would like for it to get like pretty big before I use it in a recipe, because I've always wanted to make my own sourdough. And some people can keep theirs alive forever, and I don't know how that works. But I would be happy just making one loaf out of it. I would be ecstatic to make one loaf out of my sourdough starter. Yes. Okay. Got that in the oven. I got to heat up the leftovers for me and JB, but I think I'll wait until that stuff's almost done to do that. But yeah. Also local honey. Oh, I'll show you my tea. So I might have mentioned this in a reading vlog recently. I have been turned on to hot teas, and I've always drank them, but I didn't really have a favorite. I just kind of bought a variety pack and kind of dealt with it. Didn't love them. Chamomile tea. This is Twinings Pure Chamomile. It's literally just chamomile. There's nothing added to this other than just like it being in a bag. So good. Even just by itself, I love the flavor of the chamomile. But they come in these little packets, and I put it in my Keurig. I like put it in the cup and let the hot water come in that way. Super easy. I got like 1,000 pack or something. And then honey, but not just any honey. Like if you have a favorite honey, that's fine. Of course, you can even put sugar in it, but I would never taint it with that. But I like local honey. There's a couple of people I buy from locally who their honey, I think, is just wildflowers or like clover or pecan trees and just like local flora, that's the best honey. None of this fancy stuff. Nothing I buy at the grocery store compares to this. And I haven't tried any since then because the price is about the same. It's local. It's so good. There's nothing added to it. It's just pure honey. And it's so good. This isn't my top favorite. This is not my favorite person to buy from, because that person, they don't come anymore. They moved away. So I'm going to have to order from them and then pick it up one day, because I think they're like a couple towns over, and I can still do that if I'm like in that area. But you can hear him playing Silent Hill back there. This one's still really good. It's still very local. Also, fun fact, did you know that you're not supposed to feed honey to infants because they will die? I learned that a couple years ago, and I've been trying to spread that information to people because a lot of people don't know that. And I didn't know that. That's crazy, isn't it? How something that's so perfectly wonderful and delicious and natural can kill babies for no reason. No, I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know it. But, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot left to talk about. I've been gardening. It's gardening season here in the South, which, I mean, all year you technically can garden. It's just not going to be very productive because it's so cold and so hot. So I've been planting onions and tomatoes and squash, zucchini, flowers. I'm trying to really build up my garden. Like I normally only ever do, peppers. Sorry, my nose itch. I like to grow things that we eat or things that I can turn into something we will eat. So sauces or grind it up into like a powder for my seasonings. That's mostly what I do. Basil, one of my favorite things to self harvest. So much better. So much better than store bought. Like I cannot explain to y'all, as someone who had never done it before, how much better homegrown basil, fresh basil is compared to store bought garbage. And like it's easy to store. So like I've got this is what I store my homegrown basil in. I let it dry. You can dehydrate it as well in a dehydrator if you've got one, but I just let it dry naturally. Grind it up real good, put it in here. Lasts forever. I also have like the Kroger brand. It's okay. I have the Clover Valley brand. It's okay. And then I also have the McCormick brand, which they're all about the same. But that homegrown stuff, yeah. That's where it's at, y'all. That's where it's at. Also, I want to turn you guys on to something new that I'm turned on to. Nutritional yeast. I don't know about flavor wise. I've never cooked it in something and just been like, oh, I taste the nutritional yeast. I wouldn't eat this plain, obviously, like sprinkled on top of something, but I do cook it in things. It's got a lot of nutritional value in it, low on calories and salt, but it does have protein, has iron, potassium, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B, vitamin B3, B9, B12, all these different things that you need in your body. And you can put it in pastas and soups, any kind of thing that has like a creamy sauce or texture. I think this would go really well with. So anything I make that has those things in it, I'm adding this to it and just getting that extra nutritional value. Has good protein in it. Tastes fine. Didn't really bother us. Let's see. I've heard people who are vegan and vegetarian using this because they need the extra stuff. So I do recommend it. Okay. I think I will let you guys go now. It's been a little over an hour. I always struggle to stream because I don't know what to say, but I thank you guys for watching, or any of you guys who've dropped in. Thank you, Samuel, for jumping in. Samuela? Is it Samuela or Sam or Samuel? I want to know how to say your name. If you're still listening. But I appreciate you being here. It's always really nice to see your name pop up on my channel in the comments. But anybody who comes and hangs out with me, I really appreciate that. But if you want to give me any of your recipe recommendations, if you want to give me any of your manga or book recommendations, I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you for joining me today. I think we had a lot of fun. You can call me Sam. I'm always happy to join. Oh, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you being here and stopping by and saying hello all the time. It's always really sweet. And my husband too. Like it's so sweet to have somebody that is just positive, you know. Regardless of what you put out in the world, sometimes you get a lot of negativity on the internet, and it's really nice when you see somebody who's just nice, you know. It's really refreshing, and it gives you a little bit of hope out there. But thank you. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you have a good night, and stay safe and warm or cold wherever you are. I'm not sure, but I'll see you soon. Bye.